Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Mitch. Good Sunday morning. Hope you guys are having an awesome start to your day and a great weekend so far as we're about to work away into the last work week of April. We're going to talk about what's going to happen weather-wise for your Sunday, April the 24th. And, things are starting to slow down, and they surely are, as I mentioned last night, but we're still going to probably deal with a little bit of severe weather today as we're still being influenced by this big time low pressure way up in the northern plains, and it's kind of sweeping a cold front through and kind of promoting some dynamics for some severe weather in certain areas of the country today. But I'm not expecting anything compared to yesterday or even the day before. It's just kind of lessening each day as we go by, and there's probably going to be even a little severe weather tomorrow, but as of now we have a slight risk for certain areas of the country. So we're going to talk about that and just talk about the weather for everybody in general for your Sunday. So if you guys have not subscribed, definitely consider doing that. And I really appreciate the ongoing support, people who just regularly tune in, even when the weather is not going crazy. Y'all continually make this a part of your daily routine. And when it takes time out your lives, it means a lot that y'all stop and watch these videos, even if it's just for a few minutes. It really does. It means the world. So thank y'all for that. But if you guys got anything I can pray about, as always, put it in the comments. It gives me an opportunity to pray over it. It gives others an opportunity to do so too. If it's unspoken, put that. If you want to reach out to me on my social media links right over here, do that. That's fine. Some people do that, and that's really awesome. And I got you covered. I'll definitely pray for you, and I'm sure others will too. So let's get going here. Let's look at the water vapor loop. What's going on? Well, you can see the ice soil right here. You still got this stubborn spin, this low pressure that's kind of gradually and very slowly kicking off to the east-northeast right here as it's going to try to climb into the areas of southern and southeast Canada. But it's moving so slow, the cold front's moving slow also with it. So this was moving quicker than the cold front would drag south of it, but very, very slow moving cold front. So I really think there's going to be a flood risk today in certain areas of Texas, maybe Oklahoma, and I wish I would have had that panel pulled up because I just thought of that. Hey, I probably should have showed the excessive rainfall outlook. But just know that the fact that this cold front's kind of moving so slow, you see these wider colors on your screen. That is basically where some convection has fired up in areas, and you're having a little rain anywhere from areas of Texas, Oklahoma, parts of Missouri. A little bit of rain ongoing this morning, but it will probably slowly diminish, and then it will kind of re-amplify or redevelop, and you'll have some more showers and storms in these areas a little bit later today. So we'll continue to kind of figure out what's going to happen, how this is going to develop today, but I do expect some severe storms here in this part of Texas a little bit later today with a tornado threat with some supercells that can really get developed after dark tonight. But this thing is stubborn. It's moving very slow. High pressure dominating the southeast with some beautiful warm weather in the southeast and mid-Atlantic today. But let's go on and talk about severe weather really quick. Slight risk up. Abilene, I guess I can't talk this morning. But this area of Texas, a slight risk up, and then a slight risk up here for the Great Lakes region and parts of the Ohio Valley. And this is really because there's a tornado threat right here, 5% risk at 25 miles in any given point, and then a tornado threat way up here also, closer to the triple point, not quite to it, but closer to it, where it's been influenced with better kinematics up here. But you're going to have some supercells that really kind of get popping up down here in southern areas of Texas, or southwestern areas of Texas, if you will, central areas. So definitely be careful for any kind of big-time storm development down there a little bit later this evening, probably as the sun is going down. Wind threat is there also, as it always is with this kind of setup, and then there is going to be a hail threat, mainly and especially for down here in those areas where those supercells can get going. And I'll show you what the latest HRRR model shows for that area here in a second. Talking moisture, like I said, you're going to be dealing from moisture with Texas, Oklahoma, Missouri, Arkansas, Illinois, Indiana, all the way up to the Great Lakes region in Michigan. And, I'll start this off for around 9 or 10 a.m. this morning, and you keep this rolling here. And it'll just be, it's not really, kicking off to the east very well. It's mainly moving from the southwest to the northeast and just kind of moving in that general direction. It's kind of training over the same area. So even if you don't see any severe storms in this area today, of those states I just mentioned, a lot of areas will see rain going over the same areas. If you're in southeast Oklahoma, northwest Arkansas, central to southeast Missouri, and then central to southern areas of Illinois, central areas of Indiana, throughout the evening hours, you're probably going to be dealing with some heavy rain, some showers and storms all throughout the day today. I really do think you will, and it's just going to be a rainy day. But as far as temperatures, beautiful day. It's going to it was going to get very warm all the way into southeast Canada. Certain areas hit 80 into Canada today, but the Ohio Valley, especially this area from Indiana going all the way to Ohio, West Virginia, Kentucky, Tennessee. I mean, the Carolinas, Virginia, Washington, D.C., Maryland, the Delmarva area, the deep south. Everybody's going to get into the 80s today, well into the 80s too, not just barely hitting 80 degrees and that's it. It's going to get well into the 80s today. So a beautiful day expected, almost too warm for certain people, but it's definitely going to get downright toasty out there in certain areas. In fact, the HRR model likes the idea of someone hitting 90 degrees here in areas of eastern Virginia and central Virginia. So we'll see if that verifies. I would not be surprised if it does. The HRR model did pretty well yesterday, kind of indicating an area right in here of some intense heat here in West Virginia, and it ended up getting very warm. So let's talk about the severe weather threat in Texas today in the southern plains. We'll keep this going here through the overnight hours, not the overnight hours, through the afternoon hours. And some big-time storms develop here. How big-time will they be? Well, I don't think it'll be that severe, but I think there'll be some heavy rain, some hail, and some things to, just kind of be aware of. But it's really what pops off down here that is going to have that supercell in nature and that large hail and that tornado threat down here. Now, the tornado threat will be limited just due to the fact that you're lacking forcing, you're lacking some dynamics down here. You have plenty of heating and you have some dew points down here that are supportive for tornado development, but you're lacking other things needed for tornadic storms, that's for sure. But they are going to have the potential for sure to produce a tornado. But a lot of heavy rain into this area of Texas right here, into areas of southeastern Oklahoma, into Missouri. This is going to be some heavy rain. There's going to be a flooding issue, but watch out these storms way down here in Texas. And southwestern Texas. I don't know what y'all call this area of Texas down here, but definitely be weather aware in this area. There's going to be some supercells that get going here, and just gotta be weather aware because you never know if it's going to hit your area. But heavy rain setting up through here. This is going to cause some flooding issues for sure. And then more convection fires up, and it's very, very slow sagging cold front south. It's really not even going to necessarily cool you down big time, but it's there and it's influencing the weather as far as convection continuously popping up along the boundary. We'll talk about the weather up here in the Ohio Valley. Same situation. You're going to have some storms. These storms up here can produce a quick tornado in Michigan, so be weather aware today. You're going to have some big time surface heating all the way up through your state, so there's going to be a tornado chance here this afternoon with any storms that form. So have a way to get alerts up here. Y'all haven't dealt with much in the way of severe weather this year yet, but y'all are going to have some severe weather today, probably happening sometime this afternoon. And then you're going to have the showers and storms that are going to have a chance for some severe weather here in these areas I mentioned a little bit earlier in the video. So just be weather aware in this area a little bit later today. Some showers and storms that could produce some damaging wind, maybe some hail, and then maybe it's a very small risk for a tornado in these storms along this boundary with this cold front slowly drifting east and southeast here. Temperatures out west, you guys, let's talk about the rain real quick, or moisture. Not a whole lot going. There's going to be a little system that tries to pop off some snow here in higher elevations of Wyoming and Colorado, but not really a whole lot to speak on, just a little bit of moisture out there. And then some showers will start to enter the west coast overnight tonight, and coastal regions of Washington State and northern coastal regions of Oregon. But outside of that, nothing too big. Pretty nice day. Temperatures out west, colder than average for sure, unless you're in the immediate western states right here in southwest, where it stays pretty warm in the valleys, and it's pretty nice weather all the way up to Seattle today. But in this area where you're still being influenced by this big time mid-level trough, you're staying pretty cool in this area of the country, but you're starting to warm back up in Montana, where you just had all that snow with this system, and you'll have big time snow melting already right after the storm's already not even quite wrapped up yet. Your snow's already starting to melt in these areas for sure. But that's all I got, guys. Thank y'all for tuning in. I felt like the video was a little sloppy this morning. Just couldn't quite fumble my words correctly this morning. That just happens when you make videos over and over again. But thank y'all for tuning in. God bless all y'all. Have a great Sunday. And we'll figure out something to talk about tonight. God bless all y'all.